Thank you. Uh, Hello, student. Today I am going to teach you about the NP problem. NP problem stand for the non-polynomial problems, and but it is not just the non-polynomial problem. To understand the NP problem, we have to understand the one of few following terms like the verification algorithms and certificates, etc. So first of all, to understand the terminology that I shall use to explain you the NP problem, I shall make you what are these? First of all, the verification algorithm. Verification algorithm. Verification algorithm. Suppose there is an algorithm A, and for X input, it generate for where X is input and Y is certificate. Okay, for X belongs to A, input language L1, L. The A is the algorithm for language L1 that if X belongs to L1, then for the particular input X, it generate a Y certificate value 1. And if X does not belongs to L, then A of X comma suppose and X, no, I'm taking X1 here. X1 belongs to L1 and this one is X2. Then X2 does not belongs to L, then X2 of Y would be equals to 0. So here in this case we have a certificate Y which can verify that if the language belongs, X belongs to the language, if the input belongs to the language, then it will generate a certificate. The certificate will generate 1, and if it does not belongs to the language, then it will generate output 0. For the acceptable language, it will generate certificate will generate 1. For the non-acceptable language, certificate will be generated as 0. So it is verifying that it belongs to the language that is defined as per the definition of the algorithm A is correct. Then we say that this is the verifications. Y is the verification certificate for the language L. What is language L? Basically, L is the decision problem. L is basically a decision problem, and according to the conditions, if the X is the input for which the condition are satisfied is passed through the algorithm A, then the certificate Y will be equals to 1. And if the language does not belongs to the certificate, language, then the certificate would be equals to 0. So in this is called the verification algorithm. We are not creating input, we are just taking the input and we are verifying that this is right or wrong. For example, there is a maths problem and we are not saying that, suppose somebody is saying that the number is such that x plus 4 is equals to 6, and somebody doesn't know that could be the answer. Then this answer is x is equal to 3, then y would be no. If x is equals to 2, then y would be yes, and yes would be represented by 1 and no would be represented by 0. So the verification algorithm is the algorithm which generate certificate value 1 for the correct input and generate a certificate no or 0 for wrong input. So this is called that's why it's called the verification algorithm. But we are not interested for understanding the NP problem. We are not interested only in the verification algorithm, but we shall use the term polynomial time verification algorithm. Polynomial time verification algorithms are the algorithm. One second. Now I shall use a term polynomial time verification algorithm. Polynomial polynomial time verification algorithm. Again, the situation will be the same. X, y is equals to 1. But here this verification will also do the same what normal verification algorithm do. But there is a condition that it should verify the input within polynomial of x, means y is x raised to the power some k, means the certificate takes, for if some input is of an x size, then the y certificate would be of x raised to the power k size. K can be any variable, for k is equals to 0, 1 and so on, any number. So for the algorithm, if its certificates is the polynomial of the given input and it generates the certificates and or provides the certificate and gives output 1, if input is as per the algorithm defined language, then it will generate 1, otherwise it will generate 0. But the condition is that there is a relation between x and the input, that y is the polynomial of x. This is the condition. That then if condition is satisfied, then this verification algorithm is called as polynomial time verification algorithm. Then that condition is called the polynomial time verification algorithm. I have explained these terms because these terms would be used to define the NP class of problem. Now we have clearly understood that what is verification algorithm and what is polynomial time verification algorithm. Now I am coming to the NP problem. Now learn for which right? So the NP problem are the class of the problem that can be verified used with help of a polynomial time verification algorithm, but they cannot be solved using the solved within the polynomial time. Polynomial, the word I am that is using is used for the input. Means if the input is of size x, then there is no guarantee that you will get the solution within polynomial time. I shall take for example, the problems that comes under this category are vertex cover problem, CNF problem, circuit satisfiability problem, circuit satisfiability problem, fourth, click problem, and fifth, TS trailing salesman problem, etc. So there are many problems which were you considered that as they are polynomial problem, but they are not necessarily the polynomial problem every time. They are situations when these problems become so large, then they become NP problem, means that is not feasible to solve or get the output, get the results, or get the solution or solve the problem within polynomial time, because there is no guarantee that you will get the solution or not. So the class of the problem that can be verified, that if you know the output, that you can verify that this is the correct or not, but within polynomial time. But you cannot derive the solution, or you cannot solve the problem within polynomial time. So difference is that you can verify the result, but you cannot declare or claim that you will get every time you will get the solution within time, because the problem is that there are certain steps in the algorithm which are based on guess or from where you start. So there is a portion, if your guess are always correct, then you will get the solution within polynomial time. It doesn't mean that you cannot solve that problem within polynomial time, but there is no guarantee that you can solve that problem within polynomial time. And but you can verify for the given output, you can verify that this is solution or not. So this is the simple definition of the NP class of problem. Now comes the NP complete problem. The NP complete problem. This is the simple definition of NP problem, and these are the example: vertex cover problem, CNF problem, circuit satisfiability problem, quick problem, traveling salesman problem are the famous example of the NP problems. Next category is the NP complete problem. First is that L belongs to NP, and second is that if L dash belongs to MP, then L dash is less than P of L. Okay, for any L dash, right? These are the two conditions which are satisfied by the NP complete problem. First condition is that L is a NP problem, a problem which is NP. That must be the NP problem. After that, if there is any problem that is NP problem, then that problem should be less than the polynomial of the L problems. It means if the problem should be the NP problem, if either of these two conditions are satisfied, then the problem is said to be the NP. This problem is satisfied, then problem is said to be the NP complete problem. Here you may not understand that what does it actually mean. Here it means that if any problem that is NP problem, then that problem should be at least less than the polynomial of that L problem. L is a decision problem, means you are relating two different problems with each other. How you are relating these two problems are with each other is considered as the concept of reducibility that I shall discuss now, so that you can understand that. First of all, this is the condition that L should belongs to NP method. It should be the NP problem. There should be no polynomial solution, but it can be verified within polynomial time. And if there is any other problem that is also claimed to be an NP problem, then that problem should be less than the polynomial of that problem. Okay, so if these two conditions are satisfied, then that problem is called as the NP complete problem. Now, to understand that how we are relating two problems, there comes a concept of reducibility. So I am writing the concept of reducibility here. But before that, I am explaining you the concept of co-NP problem and co-NP problem. For co-NP problem, for the problem for which L belongs to NP, but there is no condition as L dash belongs to NP, then that is called, that kind of problem of problems are called co-NP problem. ओके हाँ तो जी चलो तो आप इसमें को एनपी प्रॉब्लम में क्या होता है आपका द क्लास ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम विद फॉर which L language belongs to NP, but L dash there is no surety that L dash will belong to NP. In case of P, there is guarantee that if P belongs to L, then sorry, there is guarantee that L belongs to P, then L dash will belongs to P. But in case of co-NP, there are problems where it is possible that with the language L belongs to NP, but L dash does not belongs to NP. This class of problem is called the co-NP problem. Then this class of problem is called the co-NP problem. But in case of P problem, if L belongs to P, then L dash does belongs to P. But in case of NP, there is no guarantee that if language belongs to NP, then L dash may be NP or may not be NP. This is very strange condition, but this is true, and these kinds of problem are called the co-NP problem, right? So I have told you that there was a term that L dash is less than n of L. To understand that term, I shall explain you the concept of reducibility, with the help of which you will understand it in a better way. Reducibility. Reducibility. So I am drawing a diagram first. The diagram is Okay. Here in this diagram, suppose we have for the language L2, we have designed L2 is a decision problem, and suppose for language L2 there is an algorithm. Okay, but for language L, L is a decision problem. L2 is a decision problem, L1 is a decision problem. Two problems which are not related to each other, not different problems, but you have designed an algorithm for the L2 class of problems, and you can means that problems if and there is a transformation function f. There is a transformation function f with help of which the language x is accepted by the L1. Okay, and there is transformation function which convert x language that is accepted by the L1 into the fx that is accepted by the L2 problem for the A algorithm. Then this transformation function will convert x into fx for the algorithm that's used to solve the L2 problem. In this way, if this you can design, suppose the language that is accepted by the L1 means the decision problem is equals to x, but the language accepted by the input language x can be converted into the language accepted by the algorithm by the problem L2. Then if there is a transformation function which can convert the acceptable function by the language L1 into the acceptable language of the language problem decision problem L2, then we shall use this transformation function and we shall reuse the algorithm for problem L2 to design the algorithm for language L1. Means you have the algorithm for the language L2, but there is a relation between the input accepted by the L1 and input accepted by the language L2. Then you can design the algorithm for L1. This will be the algorithm using the algorithm of L2, or you can say that the concept of reusability, like object-oriented programming, you are using the algorithm that has been designed for L2 to design the algorithm for the language L1. This is called the concept of reducibility. Means you are reducing the problem of L1 algorithm with, by converting the transformation function x for the algorithm of L2, right? So overall you are using that. So this comes as a part, algorithm 2 comes as a part of the algorithm used to solve the L1 problem. So this is called the concept of reducibility. So the term that I have used in NP complete problem, that L dash should be less than polynomial of language L, means if you can solve one NP complete problem, then you can solve every problem using the concept of reducibility. So if you can solve any of the NP complete problem, then you can solve every NP complete problem. So that's all about the introduction of the NP problem. In next classes, we shall discuss how to solve these problems using the concepts. So thank you.